Hello Internet, my name is Jackson and I'll be your host for this channel today. If I look a little fed up and done with this project, it's because I've had to do it 3 times now and I'm a little bit nervous and scared. But here we are, doing it anyway. So what are we doing today? We're making focaccia bread for Lunesta, which I tried to do last weekend, but unfortunately, stuff just didn't pan out. So I don't need to follow a recipe as I've done this recipe twice now in the last couple of days, but obviously I'll post the recipe down below in the description if you want to follow along at home. So why did I choose focaccia bread? It is a bread that I've always enjoyed at my last job, well, 4 jobs ago, and it always seemed like a complicated bread to me. Bread making was complicated enough. Like a specialized bread like that, I was like, I would mess it up. I'm not going to be good enough at it. I don't know. I had a lot of self-doubts. And then came along somebody that I really admire, and they basically said, look, focaccia bread is the type of bread that you can try so hard to mess up and you won't. And I was like, bet. So we decided to try and make it. I've made it twice now. So this isn't going to be a surprise. It's good, but it is definitely a fairly simple bread to make, and it's actually a lot of fun. And I am making a loaf today for my friend Desi, and then I'm going to be making another loaf a little later today for my friend Jamie. Hi guys, if you're watching. Happy birthday to both of them as well, because today, as I record this, is their birthday. Hopefully this video will go up tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Editing could be a real pain in my arse. So here's where it's gonna get fun. I can't necessarily stop and redo takes in between this, so I just gotta go and hopefully everything turns out. So here we go. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is resuscitate the yeast. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about that because I need to get lukewarm water and I don't want it to go back to, I don't know, room temperature water. I think it needs to be a smidgen warm for the yeast. I'm not 100% about that. My drape friend had a lot of information about it and was talking off camera the last 2 times that I did this video. Unfortunately, they are not here today, so I've gotta be your only entertainment. So the yeast we'll be using today is this kind. I hope you can see that. I don't know if the camera can focus or not, so. But it's just a quick instant yeast, fast acting. The instructions on it did say that you don't have to put it in liquid and resuscitate it, but I've done that for the last 2 batches and we're going to continue to do that anyway. So here, I didn't explain a lot going through the process of like what I was doing as I was doing it. So that's going to be fun trying to do that this time, because I do want you to follow along at home if you're intimidated by this bread making process. Again, focaccia seems to be a really simple, easy, you only need a couple of ingredients, and it's basically flour, olive oil, yeast obviously, and whatever herbs you have that you want to put into it at the same time. So I'm making this bread for Lunesta. If you would like to know what Lunesta is, we can go into detail about that in a different video. I'm not going to cover it really today. But in layman's terms, it is the first harvest of the season, where you see a lot of the first of fruits of your labor. And a lot of the things that were harvested around this time, back in the olden days, and I guess nowadays too, would be your grains, your wheat, and other various things like that. So you would mill that down and make it into bread. And so Lunesta is also known as loaf mass. We make a lot of bread around this time. I don't get to make bread for Lunesta every year, but I am fortunate enough to be able to do so this year. So definitely picked something that I thought was complicated and hard, and it was surprisingly. So let's jump into it, okay? So the first thing we're going to need to do is resuscitate the yeast, essentially, which is probably the hardest part of the entire recipe, to be honest. So you'll need about a cup of water And then you microwave it for, the recipe called for like 3/4 cup water. I'm gonna do a cup and nuke it for about 12 to 15 seconds. It just needs to be a little warm. So we're gonna do that now. My microwave's a little special, so I gotta hit the 30 seconds and then watch it like a hawk. And do about 10 seconds in that. And then it's basically golden. So 28, 90. It should be just barely warm. And you just pour it into your bigger bowl because you're gonna need to really kind of invigorate the yeast. I don't really know the technical terms for it. You're just adding yeast. What? Oh, it's Desi's birthday today. Happy birthday, Desi. I'm just gonna take a fork and just stir it all around. You kind of want it to froth a little bit, and then hopefully it starts frothing on its own and like blooming. So, but if you want to go really fast, if you can. So I don't have the ability to like show you on camera what it looks like because my camera is attached to the computer, but it has bubbles in it. That's all you need to know, I guess. So while we set our oven to, 200, because you're gonna need it to rise. So we have 5 minutes to wait for the yeast to essentially bloom. So we'll just take a quick break. I forgot to add the sugar. So we're gonna try again and hopefully it takes. Oh no. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. Everyone's screaming at me in the comments, you forgot the sugar! Is it gonna take? I was like standing here like, why isn't it blooming? Because you got confident. Guys, I think I messed up. Oh no. No. It's fine. It'll be fine. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Okay. Good news is, I think the yeast is still alive. So that's good. It looks like it's blooming. I can see little, things of bloom, and I'm just like, oh thank God. Oh thank God. Oh thank God. So we're gonna give that like a couple of minutes to do its thing. I did put a tablespoon of sugar in there for it, but I don't know how that works. I don't know the science behind it. I don't know the yeast to sugar ratio, how much it eats before it just stops being a thing. I don't know how yeast works, guys. This is why it was complicated. This is why bread making is complicated to me. I don't understand. I'm just following the instructions I find online. And you can too, apparently. It probably helps to have an understanding. Not me, I just do what I feel is right. Follow my gut. Oh, it's blooming. It's blooming. It's alive. It's alive. Okay. Oh my God. It helps to clean as you go. I don't always do that. So once your stuff looks good and bloomed, that actually looks a lot better than the last 2 times that I've done this. Like, it's blooming up a lot now. So I'm just like, maybe that's how you're supposed to do it. Maybe you're not supposed to add the sugar to the water, but the yeast to the water and then the sugar to the water. I don't know. I don't make the rules. Rules unclear. Didn't specify. So once your yeast starts blooming, you want to add a cup of flour, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then 1 tablespoon of rosemary. We're going to add our cup of flour. Boop. Just plop it on in there. And then we are done with the cup. Don't need you no more. Don't need you no more. Don't need you no more. Okay. Then we add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Which I probably should have done after I did the rosemary. But that's okay. It's okay. Cap your olive oil again. You will need more olive oil. You need about 5 tablespoons of olive oil, 5.5 or so, but like, who's keeping track? I'm rinsing it out, okay. I don't want the rosemary to stick to it. You know? Okay. Rosemary. Crushed rosemary. Smells so good. Did you just hop your herbs? Yes. Stop judging me. And I think I do 1 thing of rosemary. And then you're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I keep forgetting that sometimes. I don't know if it's... I keep adding more, so... Because my salt is almost out, so it spills over. So if you go over, it's fine. Ah, just like that. You probably couldn't see it. I don't know. Keep your flour out because you're going to need that, but you're going to start mixing everything together, and it's going to look like a paste. Like a gooey, battery paste. Sort of at first. Lumpy, gooey, battery paste. And that's okay. You want it to mix it well. Okay. So at first it's going to look kind of like this. I hope you can see that. I should probably not just lean it out to the side of the bowl. But that's fine, that's fine. And then you're going to add 1/4 cup flour until you have at least another 2 cups of flour, or not another 2 cups, until you've added 2 cups of flour total. So 1/4 cup added. Mix it up, mix it up, mix it up. It's gonna start, well, I don't think you can see that. It's gonna start looking like a dough and then kind of turn back into a batter-ish consistency. So just add another cup of flour. One-4 cup of flour. Boop. And you're just going to keep doing that until it starts to pull away from the sides of the bowl and stick more like a consistent mess in the bowl, like a dough. Okay, so a little more like that. I'm going to add 1 more because I do want it to be, it's still sticking there, so I do want it to stay and hold its shape a little bit. So now you can see it's really starting to hold its shape. It's not really sticking back to the sides of the bowl anymore. It's, pulling away. I'm just it's being a ball of dough. Ball of rosemary dough. Casey in the comments talking about dill. Fill in the rest. Now I'm gonna add 1 thing of olive oil to the pan that we'll be cooking it in. And then you're just going to swirl that around a little bit. Try and coat as much of it as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. The olive oil you'll be adding to the top will also help it. And then I also have a non-stick pan, so it'll be fine, it'll be fine. Now the recipe did say take it out and form it into a disc. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to scoop it directly into the pan because I don't see a point in trying to form it into a ball when it's essentially already a ball. Just plop it on in. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Once it looks a little something like this, and it does slide around because it is pretty well greased in the pan, you're going to go ahead and turn off your preheated 200-degree oven, and then we'll put preferably a towel over it. I don't have a towel, so I'm going to be using a paper towel, which I don't think does the same, but it makes me feel like I'm doing something right. I don't know. That's something I will experiment with when I actually have more kitchen towels, but this one's kind of dirty, and I don't want to put it over bread, so there you go. Now we wait for 20 minutes. Alright, so it's time to take our focaccia bread out of the oven and make the topping for it, the olive oil, garlic, and rosemary topping for the top. So go ahead and just pull your bread out of the oven. Woo. And then go ahead and turn your oven up to 400 degrees because you want it to start preheating for putting it back in. Bake it. I turned it off because that was when it was rising. So now it's time to make the topping for the top of it while the oven is like preheating. I do a rosemary, garlic, and olive oil mix. I do 1 tablespoon of rosemary, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and 2 tablespoons of garlic because I like a lot of garlic on mine. So olive oil, rosemary, garlic, just gonna mix that up, give it a good stir before you put it on top of the bread. Just kind of drizzle it and spread it around the bread. Trying to get as much of it coated as you possibly can. So once it's good and coated, kind of like that, and the oven is heated, you can go ahead and put it in the oven. My oven is still heating to 400 degrees, so we gotta wait for a minute. Heat faster, Pokey! Faster! So our oven is done preheating to 400 degrees, right? Yeah, 400 degrees. So we're just gonna pop this in for another 20 minutes and then take it out. And we'll see how we did, okay? Okay. Just popping it all down here in the oven. Ooh. Alright, it's done. So we're gonna pop it out of the oven and see what it looks like and how badly I may or may not have messed up with that yeast. So just open the oven door. Ooh. So this is what it looks like about when you're done baking it, and we're just gonna let it cool. This particular loaf of bread is actually going to my friend Desi for her birthday, and I'll be making another loaf for Jamie later. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and I hope you had a good time watching this video, and if you followed along, let me know down in the comments below how yours turned out. So that's all it takes to bake a delicious loaf of rosemary garlic focaccia bread. If you happen to follow along the recipe, should be posted in the description down below, so you can make your own. And if you do, let me know how it goes in the comments down below. If you would like to give a like and subscribe, I would super appreciate it. This is the part where you beg for likes and subscriptions, I guess. But also, you can let me know in the comments down below what other videos you want to see done, like other cooking videos, more witchy videos. If you want to see some of that, I do have a series on sewing I want to do, so those will be the next couple of videos coming out. But I hope to see you in the future. Okay, bye! Don't be so eager to get the video over with faster. I know what I'm doing. Okay. Oh, no, it's Casey. You found it. Found what? Oh, the dildo bread? So what, Jackson? So buttons on your underwear, that's what. Sucking at something is the first step to being kind of good at something, which is the next step to being kind of great at something. I don't know, so just start that project that you want to do. It's not that hard, just take the first step, says the person who had to do this 3 effing times. Hi! What are you doing in here, sneaky butt? What you doing? What you doing, stinky butt? Do you see the kitty cat? Probably not. I didn't get much of the floor. I've done this recipe twice last weekend, and it feels like second nature to me now, but not really. I forgot to work in grow or die. No context for that. Doop-a-doop. Doop-a-doop. You can also turn off your